Phil, what is the very latest there in London?
This is not good news. It's simply spreading further and further, and I can add to the list there. We've got Ealing, Camden, Chalk Farm, another factory in Enfield apparently gone up. And outside of London, we've got Birmingham, Leeds, and now Liverpool have had at least some disturbances there, and a serious fire, we believe, in Birmingham. So it's really starting to spread, and I think what's happening here is that word is getting out that the police are overstretched, that it's open season out there in some areas, that you're very unlikely to be caught if you're doing something. So the looting has been prolific. There have been some areas, Clapham Junction, a major shopping centre there, a major department store, Debenhams, has been looted, and apparently police have just had to stand by and let it happen for at least a couple of hours without doing anything, and now fires have broken out in that area too. So we haven't seen this level of civil disturbance, well, certainly in recent modern history. Certainly the 80s saw some bad riots. This, it appears, exceeds those.
So Phil, it's 1 o'clock in the morning there now. There's no indication that this has eased off at all overnight. Like right now, this is continuing.
Absolutely. As we speak, this is continuing. As we speak, it's breaking out in new areas. So yes, no sense of a let-up at all. If anything, the opposite. Although in some areas it may peter out. What's happening is that groups are simply regrouping in other areas, causing more mayhem. And it does appear that one of the main motivations of all of that is looting, is stealing whatever they can out of shops, and it's opportunistic, and it's extremely ugly, and it'll be a miracle, to be frank, if no one is end up being killed from tonight because of all the fires, and we won't know probably for days if there have been fatalities.
You mentioned earlier that you came across, I think it was someone very young, a kid or something like that, who was involved in this, and he had a BlackBerry with a list of suburbs that, quote, we were going to hit. Is it clear who we is?
We seems to be this loose, disparate group of young people, mostly male, and obviously some angry with the world. Some just want a new pair of sneakers or whatever they can grab out of any shop that they can possibly take things from. So it's a mixed bag, but generally from what I observed, and I was up in Hackney for several hours earlier in the evening, what I observed was that these people were simply opportunists. They were taking delight in the violence and in the thievery. They thought it was a great lark. And to be honest, you know, we've had 200 or so arrests. Well, there could have been thousands of arrests given the level of criminality all over the capital and beyond. So the police have an enormous task trying to regain control of the streets. They'll face enormous criticism, no doubt, in the days ahead, that they appeared to be completely outmanoeuvred and outnumbered. And already we've got reports of police being drafted in from all the police forces around London to try and boost the numbers here, on top of the transport police and the police from the City of London who've already been out trying to help out. So it's an all-hands situation. The government is in crisis mode, and at this stage, as we speak now, things are not under control.
Phil, as someone who's lived in London for a while, does it, and you've been out on the streets today, does it seem almost unreal?
Absolutely, it seems like a scene from Blade Runner or one of those apocalyptic movies. It just doesn't seem like the London I know. Sure, there's been violence here. I've been reporting on riots in the past, but nothing this widespread. And also the motivations usually in the past have had some vague political connection. This one maybe started that way over the shooting of a man on last week, but it's gone way beyond that. Most of the people I saw looting and robbing today probably couldn't name the person that was killed. So it really is a very, very ugly face of London at the moment. Now, there have been many discussions already. Is this the disaffected youth? Is there a political angle here? Is it because we've closed youth centres because of the cutbacks, etc., etc.? Well, I'm I'm sure those debates will continue over the next few weeks. But right now, what I saw was just a very, very ugly face of opportunistic thieving and violence.
And Phil, just finally, David Cameron is due back any moment.
Yes, he is. He's being rushed back. He ordered his plane to come and pick him up where he's holidaying in Italy. They have a crisis meeting tomorrow where no doubt more heavy-handed responses will be looked at, I'm sure, with the police. That could include things as extreme as rubber bullets, possibly the use of tear gas and water cannon. At the moment, the arsenal has been very limited, just to batons and baton charges and dogs. Clearly it hasn't worked, it hasn't been effective enough. I mean, they've managed to regain control of some areas, but then they lose control of other areas. So it's this running game of cat and mouse at the moment. The mouse is well ahead of the cat here.
OK, Phil Williams in London, thank you.
Thank you.